Right, it's been quite the news today. We've had the ISIS leader supposedly murdered. I say supposedly because I I see the reports earlier and they start saying that they've announced in the past that he's been killed, and that's turned out to be fake. Uh, because we're trying to be fair and we don't have any evidence to suggest that he has somehow managed to survive. I'm going to shut up. Yeah, Ruben, I decided to do this later for a second. I decided to do this later than the 6 a.m. thing because I was trying to see if more people would show up for it. And if I had done it, in the morning like I did with the YouTube boys, whenever Control Me one. So we'll see what happens. Okay. Abu Bakr. I don't know how to pronounce any of these people's names. Baghdadi. They're calling him the elusive Islamic State commander. Uh, and that this is an important breakthrough more than 5 years after the militant chief, referring to Baghdadi, launched a self proclaimed caliphate that inspired violence worldwide. Last night, the United States brought the world's number one terrorist leader to justice, Trump said in a televised announcement from the White House. He was a sick and depraved man, and now he's gone. In what the president called a dangerous and daring nighttime operation, helicopters inserted a team of American Special Operation troops into a volatile area of northwest Syria, where they began an assault on a militant compound, culminating in a retreat by Baghdadi into an underground highway. There, in a dead-end tunnel, Trump said the militant leader detonated an explosive vest, killing himself and three of what were believed to be his six children. I really, just on the sake of humanity, I hope that last part wasn't true about the him killing his children for no reason. The high risk operation brings a dramatic end to a years long hunt for the man who spearheaded the Islamic State's transformation from an underground insurgent band to a powerful quasi state that straddled two countries and spawned copycat movements across several continents. At its peak, the Islamic State controlled an area the size of Great Britain, boasting a massive military arsenal and a formidable financial base that it used to threaten the West and brutalize those under its control. While the group gradually lost territory to US backed Syrian and Iraqi fighters, officials caution it remains a potent insurgent force even after Baghdadi's death. Hi, Envoy. Oh, let me know if you don't find this topic entertaining. I'll change the title because I would never do anything to upset you. I just want you to like my stuff and rub a tub tub. So let me know if you have a problem with this. I will happily bend over for you. I almost want to change my name to like YouTube slave or something. That feels like an appropriate title after after this past week. Hope you're having a good day. Also hope. Oh, I'm so flattered. I hope you are as well. Uh, so that this story is kind of weird because the thing is, yeah, I'm about to get to it, but I was trying to speak on it. Give me a moment, man. Give me a second to at least state that it's supposed to be a big, huge deal. This ISIS leader has been taken down. This man that we never heard of. By the way, I try very hard to remember the names of senators and like different people that are significant to U.S. politics that a lot of other just like regular people might not be that aware of. The media needs to do a much better job of talking about people of consequence when it comes to these terrorist groups or foreign countries because I literally could not remember this man's name. I just heard ISIS leader dead and it was like who the hell is that? Maybe if they stopped if they stopped reporting on stupid stuff every day, we could actually hear about some people who have, whether you like them or not, made some impact or consequence. All right, Ruben says make a documentary about Pat Buchanan. Always says, is it just me or is this ISIS leader death not getting as much coverage as I would expect? Yeah, but here's the thing: he didn't get much coverage that really any at all in the last few years. I cannot remember a single time I turned on my TV, I went to the Hill and saw any updates about Baghdadi because they ignored or otherwise completely pretend that this wasn't going on. And then when there's some supposedly huge, major, colossal development, oh my God. Always says you would think the media would talk more about it since this news like to play up how big of a deal terrorism is. Yeah, but I mean, the only one of these terrorist leaders that by themselves was really that significant when it's all boiled down is probably bin Laden. That's the only one that the second people found out he was deceased, like you didn't have to explain who that was to people. I've had multiple people I've seen on Twitter and other places say, "Who the hell's Baghdadi?" And that's not because they're stupid. It's because we have there's no way to just randomly know who this person is. Ruben says, haven't you noticed that most of the ISIS terrorists shown on TV are either masked or white skinned? I'm only bringing this up because of the region they are supposed to be in. I don't know, one of them looked a little tan to me. I always said bin Laden and Saddam Hussein, even though Saddam was different, but as a foreign enemy, the media did cover him a lot. Well, he was also a head of state envoy. He was, leader of his country in an elect in a you know official capacity. And I don't know if I would even. I'm not saying that as some defender of Saddam, but I don't know if I would strictly call him a terrorist. Like, sure, you could categorize him as one, but he was more than just that. Like by virtue of actually being the leader of some. So I'm just saying it made a lot more sense for him to be covered the way that he was. Again, whether someone likes him or not, when I did the history of Iran video where I was talking about Iran and Iraq, I remember the part I mentioned where one of Saddam's cabinet members told him maybe you should have a peace deal with the U.S. and Saddam pulled out a gun and shot him and then went right back to the meeting. Some brutal characters here. Let's see. Always says people in the Middle East range from pale white to darker. There's a range, brother. Imagine everybody has to look exactly the same. All right, let me get over to the shooting. This is from the Associated Press, or as Mark Levin would call them, the Associated Depressed. A gunman opened fire at an off-campus college party to Texas, leaving 2 dead and 14 injured before he escaped in the ensuing chaos, the sheriff said Sunday. Authorities believe the shooter may have been targeting just one person at the party of about 750 people outside Greenville, 15 miles southwest of a satellite campus of the Texas A&M University system, and that others may have been shot at random. Hunt County Sheriff Randy Meeks said authorities were still looking for the suspect, Meeks said, and had not yet identified him. The shooting took place around midnight Saturday at what Meeks described as a Halloween homecoming party for Texas A&M University. Commerce. Though officials have said it was not a school-sanctioned event, authorities believe there was one male shooter who entered the venue through the back door and began firing with the handgun, Meeks said. Meeks described complete chaos after the shots rang out, with hundreds of people fleeing, including the gunman. The injured include 4 people who did not have gun wounds, but who were hurt in the melee, he said. The 2 people killed were both males, Meeks said. So we know we won't hear too much about them after this. But he did not know if they were AM Commerce students. He said he believed 4 or 5 students may have been among those injured and estimated that most of the people at the party were in their late teens, early 20s. Some were wearing costumes, he said. Authorities do not believe the gunman was wearing a mask or costume. Hunt County Sheriff's Office Chief Deputy Buddy Oxford uh, added that the shooter was dressed in a blue hoodie. Definite thug attire. um, I made that comment about how because it was 2 dudes, you won't hear too much about it because there actually was a shooting about maybe 3 years ago where it was some pregnant chick and then some guy, and after they both got murdered, the only memorials you could find on any of these websites were for the chick. It was like the guy didn't even exist. I thought that was really crazy, but let's see. Envoy says near a college campus at a party. LOL, not surprised. Well, I told you that all these schools do is exist to be functions for the more wild and crazy behaviors of the supposed students that are there. And that's you can't I can't take a lot of these events seriously because they're attended by people who don't even go to the school. So let's see. Was the race revealed? No, they don't know anything about him. Oh, wait, we just know he was in a blue hoodie. That could have been anybody. Hell, you might have thought that was me, even though I don't wear hoodies at all. Since the media likes to reference that, but we don't know what the ethnicity was. We're gonna speculate. Although we can probably figure that it was white, but I'll be quiet about that. And it's sad because that wouldn't even be a like racial thing at all. It would just be, because most of the mass shooters are Caucasian, since it's a majority Caucasians. 'Cause it's not difficult to figure out why that would be the case. But you'll have someone who will take issue with that comment, and then they'll go, "Oh my God, you're trying to pin this on my ethnic group." So they can have fun with that. They're just relaying a statistic. They get pissed off over everything. I think it might be the first one of these where the person who did it was able to actually get away in the ensuing chaos of firing some shots. Okay, let me see here. Do we have anything else left to report? Uh, it's so weird. There's almost no information on any of this stuff. Let's see, Rudy Ridge happened here. Rudy Ridge. Okay, sorry. I had to think for a second. You had me sitting over here scratching my head trying to deduce what you meant. Yeah, they'll probably identify the person because most of these people that do these incidents aren't really that sophisticated. And apparently, the conservatives are pissed off that Pelosi won't say anything, and the rest of the Democrats in Congress have been relatively silent. I'm gonna go on Twitter and look and see. My first time on Twitter in like a month to go look and see what they said. They've made any comments or statements. I'm so amazed by how little I use this website at this point. Uh, I'm not seeing anything so far. I have to, since I don't follow most of these Congress members, I have to manually go to their page. I have to go and look around. Oh, here's Ro Khanna. He says, Americans salute the heroism of our troops in killing ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, a major threat to our national security. We appreciate the courage of our Kurdish allies who helped with this effort and the battle against ISIS. So that was his take. Who else do we look up? Oh, I can just go to my feed and I'll maybe be able to see it. What the hell? I'm not following Buddha Trash. Get out of here. Oh, that's one of his Twitter, his paid ads where when you don't follow someone, you can still see what they write because they pay for it to pop up in your feed regardless, which is really obnoxious. I don't see anything from. Wow, this is crazy. It's like it's being completely ignored. Let me go to Gomert's page. See if he wrote anything. Let's see. Last night was a great night for the. Okay, well he didn't write anything, but he retweeted the White House's comments about it. Let's go look at Harris. See if she wrote something. She's too busy trying to argue with Trump over attending an event to notice. Tree of Life Synagogue. Okay, so nothing. Damn, these people act like this didn't even happen. Okay, Ruben says, did you hear about Romney and Comey getting caught using fake Twitter accounts? I thought Romney told us what his account was, the delete, whatever that thing is, Delectio or something. I thought he announced that. See, and he's stupid because when you have one of those accounts, you're supposed to make it look like it's an actual person by having it do other things. Pro tip. Yeah, he's not slick, so I'm not too shocked. If he couldn't even appear to be a real person or an intelligent person when he ran for president, he sure as hell can't do it online. It's like I'm gonna have an account that only likes that responds to all negative messages about me, but it's not me. That's all it does, but it's not me. What a joke, man. So he's not too clever or slick or smart or any of those other words that could be used to describe someone that is on the higher echelon of intelligence and whatnot. But I don't see a single congressperson mentioning any of this other than Roe. And I guess technically Gohmert if we want to be nice. Let's go look up. Let's go see if Ruben's favorite congresswoman AOC had any comments to make. His 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 hero, his progressive champion. Let's see. Aryan Nations was also founded here where I live, but I've never encountered a member. Uh, hopefully you'll encounter a member soon and you can go out for some dinner. Oh, she hasn't written anything in 20 hours. Oh, looks like that's another person being quiet. It's really weird. I thought she was the one that uses Twitter a lot. Like, I guess not. Let's see if Talib said anything. They are talking a lot about the anniversary of the. I know she's promoting some event she's having with Sanders in Detroit, so or in some part of Michigan. I didn't look to see where it was. Let's see if Omar said anything. Uh, Tweets and replies. Nope. Wait. No, she. Okay, she did. She did. She retweeted this other person who was talking about it on MSNBC in reference to this event. So I guess that's technically. I'll say that she has said something. Oh wait, here it is. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi was an evil. Baghdadi was an evil man and a terrorist who terrorized the world with violence and a message of hate. The world is a safer place without him. We have deep gratitude for the brave men and women who carried out this dangerous operation. Last night, two people were shot to death at a homecoming party in Wow, she responded to both. Whoa, I'm shocked. Last night, two people were shot to death at a homecoming party in Texas. As Mitch McConnell lets the House gun legislation die outside his door, innocent people are dying too. He must bring this legislation to the Senate floor before we see more senseless deaths. I'm not even going to read her comment section because I already know it's people talking about guns don't kill people, people kill people. So I'm good. Not even going to bother. We, it's like once you've seen one of those debates, you've seen them all. They say the same things, and that's Omar Rubin. Talib didn't say anything, and neither is AOC. So now the only two members of the House that that, or rather the only three. I'm not gonna look up all these people. There's so many of them. It's Roe, Louis Gohmert, and Omar. Let me see if Pelosi said anything at this point. Again, one of the reasons I held off was to give people time to write something. Oh, she did. The death of al-Baghdadi is significant. Al-Baghdadi is significant, but it does not mean the death of ISIS. Trump must present the American people with a clear strategy to confront ISIS. All right, well, she said something as well, so now people can stop claiming that she was quiet. Who else do I want to put in there? Does Buchanan have a Twitter account? I wonder what he thinks about this. Well, if he has one, remember that that still doesn't necessarily mean that he actually said something about this. I just found that it's actually Patrick Buchanan, and last tweet was on the 24th. So no comments so far. Yeah, but you had mentioned earlier do a documentary about Buchanan. Uh, why? Just out of curiosity. So again, I'm not adverse to doing that. I just want to know what about him would be like a big deal enough to see. You get my point. Like what would be the appeal of doing that? All right, who else is oh Tulsi? Let's see if she said anything. People have two accounts. It's so annoying. Okay, by Smirmy Warmongers are sending a message. So nope, that was 9 hours ago. Uh, see, but she did say something nice about Carter, so I'll tip my hat to her. Uh, yeah, nothing. I'm just messing with you when I bring up these Congress people. Oh, okay. Well, now, so I've Tulsi hasn't said anything. AOC hasn't said anything. Talib hasn't said anything. Uh, but let's finish up the squad by looking up Presley, who is apparently, who again is the only member that still hasn't endorsed Sanders for some damn reason. An hour ago, the weather. 2 hours ago, some city council. Okay, so nothing. Really strange. All these members of the House, they're all keeping quiet for some reason, except for a few people. Let's look up Crenshaw, and then Kevin McCarthy. We can. Who else would? I guess then we would have to look up Hoyer, see if he wrote anything. Oh, he did. Okay, Crenshaw said, "Today is a good day in America. ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi is dead, and our enemy is significantly weaker. I'm proud of our U.S. special operators who carried out this high-risk mission, and applaud the administration for its decisive action." Ruben says, "Why is Presley even in the squad? She didn't even promote herself as a radical politician during her election." Yeah, she and the person she took out, I'm forgetting what his name is, was already considered progressive. So like there was really, I don't, man, don't I remember the reason is because when they had the orientation events after winning the House election, so the general election, AOC took out a camera and had Talib and Omar and Presley next to him, was like, "Oh, this is the squad," or some kind of comment, and they were like right behind her, and that's where that name is coined from. But as far as actually doing anything since being in the House, I think the only thing that was actually somewhat good was lowering the voting age. Everything else, whether it's voting to uh, condemn the BDS movement or condemn Trump getting out of Syria. It's all just trash, man. It's or trying to screw with Kavanaugh, who I'm not a fan of, but at a certain point, the man is on the court. Get over it. There's been a lot of not very good comments made. See, is she better or worse than Halen and Davids? They have been unimpressive too. Uh, I'd have to look into their records. I do believe though that she is the weakest member of the squad and certainly of the people who identify as Justice Democrats. I'm only halting a little bit on that. Like, there's a little uncertainty there just because I don't know about Jayapal's record that much. but from what I've seen, she seems superior. In terms of being one of the an actual steadfast supporter of single payer and not wavering on it from what I've seen. Okay, who else? Oh, let's go to her page. See if she wrote anything. 40 minutes ago, 3 hours ago. Everybody keeps talking about the tree of life. Where's the nope, no comment. All right, well, move to the next one. Uh let's go to Kevin's. Okay. Dude, let's go to Crazy McCarthy's page. Let's see if he wrote anything. 6 hours ago, 6 hours ago. Okay, the president just confronted what the world should already know. Terrorists cannot outlast or outmatch the commitment of the U.S. counterterrorism apparatus. We will not waver in destroying terrorist leaders wherever they hide. May God bless the men and women in our military who protect us and make us proud every day as they continue to fight against terrorism. So he wrote some. I have to give him credit for being a writer. Let's see, someone is already planning to run against Haaland with a more progressive platform. The new guy is also Native American. If you are into that angle, what do you mean if I'm into that angle? I don't care what these people's races are. I mean, I would prefer to see some, more minorities in there. But if, as long as they agree with my positions, I do not care about their ethnicity. And you already know that. So to insinuate that him being Native American would matter to me is so profane. I'm so appalled that you would even suggest that. What a sick thing. All right, let me look up Warrior. Such a weird name, Stenny. Happy birthday to my friend, Rep Cleveland. Okay, so no, nothing. Who else? Oh, let's do Cheney. See if she decided to pop out her fangs. I actually did record a little short video that I'll put out this week about her, where she's not even in the Wyoming Senate race, but for some reason she's leading the other person by 20 points. So it's basically like, I'm not here, I'm not running, but I'm gonna be able to pull this off whether I get in or not, which is really creepy. Ruben says I don't really care either, but other people do, so I bring it up. Check Tom Cotton, Rubio Graham, Schiff. All right, give me a moment. Well, Schiff is gonna he'll support any like aggressive action against anyone, which is why I was surprised that he's not a Republican. Uh, I guess like he's literally to the right of Rand on foreign issues, but whatever. Okay, Cheney said immense gratitude this morning for all involved in the raid against al-Baghdadi, including Trump, our Kurdish allies, our intel professionals, and mostly our incredible special operators, whose courage and skill are unmatched. We live in freedom because of them. It's not too bad, I guess. Let's go to Cotton. I put Tim Cotton by accident. I hate typing on these phones. I'm always slower on them because I have my handy dandy keyboard. Uh, the world's most wanted. This is Cotton. The world's most wanted man has been eliminated thanks to the brave men and women of the United States military and the president's decisive leadership. This raid serves as a reminder to America's enemies that there's no safer place in the world for them. That there's no safe place in the world for them to lay their heads. All right, so that's Cotton, Ruben, just to further clarify. And it's really funny because you said look up Schiff. The tweet right above that one or below it in chronological order was from a few days ago. Cotton says Adam Schiff is running a farce in the House. Impeachment inquiries should be conducted publicly with proper rights given to the minority and the accused. Republicans are firmly united against this kangaroo court. I just thought that was fun. Like he's talking, he mentions the same person that you put among your list, your small list of people to look into the comments of. I found it amusing. Okay, let's see. Ram put up two comments. He said, "Last night, the best of America confronted the worst of mankind, and the good guys won." Next one is speaking with Maria Bartiromo on Fox News Channel in just a few minutes about the raid and the death of ISIS leader Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. Tune in. And I think this is the video of him doing it. Yeah, this is the video. Uh, oh, they actually let him speak at the White House. Wow. So I could play that later. I don't want to have that loud thing in the moment. I could go to Rubio. The operation that killed the degenerate Baghdadi was named after a. Why did for some reason he hashtagged Baghdadi, was named after a real hero, Kayla Mueller, who despite the most horrific treatment at the hands of ISIS, displayed courage and selflessness while in captivity. I'm failing in my words today, and refused to renounce her Christian faith. Today, we should also remember the thousands of victims of al-Baghdadi's crimes. In particular, I am thinking of our friends Art Soloff and Shirley Sotloff, whose son Stephen was brutally murdered by ISIS killers. So he probably wrote the most of anybody, actually. All right, who else was on that list? Uh, we just have Rand, then we have Schiff, and then it's gonna be finished. Okay, Rand hasn't tweeted anything in 20 hours, so he hasn't responded yet. And Schiff is, can't stand this man. Every time I see him, I know you're following him, Ruben, but I'd rather not. The death of ISIS leader al-Baghdadi is great news. A bloodthirsty killer has been brought to justice. Our profound thanks to the brave service members and intel officers involved. This is not the end of ISIS, and the struggle will go on, but with one less murderous thug. So that's his comment. And with that, we've looked up all the people that Ruben wanted to see. I mean, it's pretty much a universal condemnation of Baghdadi, which is not a surprise. It's just the only one really saying anything besides "woohoo, great job" is Pelosi, because she wanted Trump to make a ISIS strategy, which I don't even know what that would look like anymore, because all they do is say we need to be tough on terrorists. We're going to bomb more places. Are we going to? I mean, like they all do the same thing. They just like I'm not really seeing much of a difference here with the application of the military and its usage, because all they do is blow stuff up. I thought I was finished. Let me give me a second. I'm gonna go to Amash's thing first, and then what Tapper? Yeah, Envoy disappeared, and I told you that people It's so funny. I was like, oh my god, I can get more people if I do it later in the day, and then actually no, it turns out to not be the case. I don't know where they are, man. People they show up when they want to. Uh, why do you think I turned off the ratings? Like I was like, I can't even get people to click a like button, much less show up recurringly to stream. So I'll just say screw it. Okay, Amos says, thanks and congratulations to the incredible American forces who risked their lives to eliminate al-Baghdadi. So that was his comment. And let me see if I can find. Oh, wow. On the 26th, Hamas actually had written, he took a tweet from Trump where they asked him where Trump, this is from 4 years ago when he was running for president. It was the night of the first Republican debate. When you have 18 to 19 trillion in debt, they need someone like me to straighten it out. And then Amash says he has straightened it all the way out to about 23 trillion and counting. So he's like pointing out that that was a campaign statement that hasn't gone along with his actual tenure. I like that's true. See, and you can't say he didn't say it because they have the clip right there. Unless you think they did some CGI to get him in there. I have to sometimes remember these other hosts on there besides let's see, it's Tapper, it's Kumo, and then Don Lemon and somebody else. Okay, Tapper is talking about the Eagles beating the Buffaloes, and uh, oh wow, Tapper retweeted this. In this piece, Olivia Nuzzi captures both the prodigious strengths of Joe Biden, his extraordinary humanity, empathy, and personal connection with people, and the obvious weaknesses that worry his supporters and encourage his rivals for the nomination. It's called Joe Biden's zombie campaign. He still says Trump won, the ISIS leader is gone, USA, USA, USA. We're safe now, said Forrest Trump. Hey, are we gonna get a clip of him what was it, selling fish and talking about Bubba? Let's see, Ruben writes Stellar and Ferret. Man, I don't remember these people's whole names. I have to give me a second. Stellar. And then I have the stupid autocorrect, so if I type their name in the way that you posted it, they want to correct me. They want to say, "Oh, are you sure that you know what you're talking about?" Oh, Chris Stellar, right? Is that the person's name? Wait, no, that's some other individual. What the hell? John Conyers died. Wow. Let me see. What the hell? Hey, what? Hey, Ruben, did you know Conyers apparently died today? What? Wow. Representatives are dropping like flies. Jesus. Oh, what is this wash? Okay, I don't know what that is. This officer just showed up. He wants to leave some crazy comment. Isn't it funny? You look up this other person's thing and then you get some new stuff. Let's see. People die daily. I did not know that either. Be still. We know people. Come on. We're aware of the frequency of people's deaths. We're talking about members of the House dying back to back, like literally less than 2 weeks after the Cummings thing. So that's the point that's being made here. The guy from the Price is Right. Why is this officer here? I've never seen him before. Immortal show host. I'll be happy that he survived this long. Yeah, give him a break. All right, let me go to Ferret's thing. So Ferret Zakaria, he hasn't tweeted anything since the 26th. So nothing at all today. We're watching you, policeman. Yeah, he's gonna pull out a flashlight and a glove. That's gonna be his way of contributing. He'll tell me to bend over and try to put some handcuffs on me. And we're this is like this is the internet version of like what's that, of Ferguson. We're doing like marches in our words. All right, Ruben, I just looked up. Faraday hasn't said anything, so I'm pretty much, I would say, finished. Bend over and put handcuffs on you. Yeah, well, that's I mean, all these people, they would the joke was that they abused their powers. So you could have just put the person's handcuffs. You didn't have to get them to, stand in some sexual manner as you do it. All right, but I'm pretty much done here. So the ISIS leader, they barely told us anything about this man, but we're supposed to be so happy and wonderfully excited because of whatever. Well, their days are numbered. And then with the shooting, I've never seen a suspect get away by walking or running amid the pandemonium of a couple of shots. So it was a weird series of news. Oh yeah, they're gonna have another leader be still. I mean, it's like I said the same thing about those idiots that were talking about they want something to happen to Trump. It's like you get rid of him and then you just get pants. You don't take out a current system because they'll just put somebody else in there who is identical in position to where it didn't even matter that you got rid of them. Uh, how many times has ISIS been defeated? Man, I don't even know anymore. It's like, okay, we killed these many over here. We got rid of this leader. We took out this, strong man. Like I can't take it seriously anymore because they keep saying that they're winning, but we're still over there. We're still screwing with them. I just want to know where the ISIS voting booth. Imagine they have some voting booth that actually has ISIS written on it, and you can vote for your next terrorist. That's going to be how we do the next improvement to democracy. Dude, we're never going to get rid of that group. They're always going to. This is why I said that, like the war on terror and that everything since then has just been this complete waste of time because it's the impracticality of trying to take out groups of people who are always going to come back and like still be there. Like just get out of there, man. Did you know about did you know about Israel talk was just taking in ISIS people for medical treatment? I had no idea. It's war for terror. Now they're gonna have them help them with mistreating the Palestinians. That'll be the next venture of that group. Still looking for this shooter. They're not gonna find him. That dude disappeared. Well, they will find. They're probably not gonna find today. I'd be very shocked if they did. Could you imagine how he must look? I bet he was running like he was trying to turn into a real life version of Flash. He was he was like ducking and jiving, hiding behind trash cans. Probably threw that that hoodie in the trash. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to that extreme. The world is disgusting. Civility is a rare commodity. Well, yeah, because why care about someone when you can do all this stuff and still get away with it? Like this guy is going to be famous, more famous for shooting two people on one random night than he would have if he had just been a productive member of society. Because we don't care about people who actually do things that are supposed to be good. He became Sonic the Hedgehog, and he was wearing blue, so he turned into like the what was it the what's that move called? The spin, not the spin dash. He turned into the blue ball and then went away. I just pictured the sound. Just boom. Imagine he collected. Oh, you won't get this joke. He collected 50 rings, and then at the end of the street, one of those little yellow, like a big yellow warp panel showed up, and he went through it to get a Chaos Emerald. That's where he's in right now. He's trying to get the emerald. So the officers are going to have to get 50 rings before they can join him in there. He still says random shootings now give people the game they want. It reminds me of those TV shows where people risk their bodies for recognition. when they allowed knives to be thrown at them. Yeah, they're really stupid for doing that. I think it's dumb to seek fame in any way that is criminal or incites physical harm towards oneself. It's really not a smart thing at all. But people they do that. Like checking the crowd. Oh, like shooting the crowd. Yeah, like shocking the crowd. I don't know which one he was using. Roman Coliseum, and all kind of stuff. Uh, so Ruben, do you have anything left to say? 'Cause I'm pretty tapped out. I've going for 40 plus minutes. I'm getting a little worn out here. It's kind of hard to discuss it because we don't have that much information on Baghdadi, and then we also don't have that much information on the shooting. Sarah Rayo is endorsing Julian Castro for president. Check what she's been doing since losing her election. Oh, this is the Twitter day. Serio. How's this woman's name? Rayo. Okay, when I looked her up on Twitter, the first thing that came up is a tweet by this guy named Ron who says Sarah Rayo is congressional candidate with an IQ below sea level. Oh, here it is. See, Facebook is the leading commenter of posts about how awful men are. Her Indian friend and his white chick confronted some. Okay, this already sounds like someone annoying just from those. Think the thousands of black and brown folks caged in squalors have time for incremental change. So many horrific things are happening around the clock that the media cycle has moved on from the concentration camps. We have concentration camps in this country right now. Baghdadi sounds like Big Daddy. Other than that, I have nothing else to say. All right, well, so I'll see you later. Um, very supposedly big news with this ISIS leader going down, but they'll just get another leader, and then the shooting is just gonna get, they'll find the guy and they'll talk about it for like 3 days, and then we'll move on until we have another one because the cycle never ends.